this. It's 7:05, and I'm thoroughly excited to start the first ever Friends of JURowing Zoom call. And the advent of COVID has allowed us to make Zoom a thing, and makes it a lot easier to communicate and spread the word and talk about what we're doing here at the Boathouse. And I've been here at Jacksonville University for 6 going on 7 years, and I could not be more excited about what we're doing here, both from a rowing standpoint, a coaching standpoint, a programmatic standpoint, a fundraising standpoint. It's just very exciting to see what's happening down here at the Nygaard Rowing Center. And so on this call tonight, we're going to do our best to stay on task, and I'm talking to myself on this one, to keep this as streamlined as possible, but also give you guys as much information as possible. We will open this up to questions at the end of our call. So please, if you could hold them, to the end, or chime in on the chat, and we have someone monitoring the chat who will answer, will butt in and tell us to stop. First of all, I took over for a great coach, Jim Mitchell, and I thank him for laying the foundation for what we're moving on to next. And Jim has moved on to the University of Wisconsin and is doing great things up there, but really left an exciting opportunity for me to come into this program and really make some changes that will hopefully be lasting above and beyond my tenure here. And our goals are, first and foremost, our goal was to create a board. And so we started working on that probably 5 years ago with our former men's coach, Jason Cottingham. And within that process, we met some amazing alums with Brad's support, helping us guide the way in terms of who to reach out to. We created a board. We created the Friends of JURowing board. And in my opinion, it's probably one of the most important things I will have done here during my tenure at Jacksonville University, is to leave a lasting legacy that will help carry this program on into the future. And I have no intention of leaving JU. I love this place. But I also want to make sure 20, 30 years from now, when I'm gone, that this place has a solid foundation, and our friends group has really stepped up to do that. Some of my goals are to invigorate and re-engage as many alums as possible. And that's something I've worked on since the beginning of my tenure here at JU. One of the things that we have done in creating this board is created a cohesive unit of individuals that show up on a monthly basis, and we chat about what we could do to help enhance the support of our student athletes. And again, I could not be more proud of that. Brad chimed in just a minute ago, but Brad Nygaard, first and foremost, is really the OG of JURowing. Okay, he's the key contributor to our program, and JURowing would not be where we are today without Brad and Annette's leadership. But with Brad's support, he's helped me, he's helped the program, and he's allowed us to continue to move forward to grow this friends group. And I'm very happy to report that we've accomplished our goal of creating a self-sustaining organization. And so what do we want to accomplish on this call? We want to update from each of our board committees, and most importantly, an update from our board chair. We want to update you guys on our men's and women's rowing programs. We want to look into the future of JURowing, and we hope to continue to build excitement through the growth and participation of our events and our initiatives as we continue giving back financially and to give our athletes the best experience possible. So with the utmost respect, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Bill Breed. Bill, I never actually got your class of 84, maybe?
Ooh.
82? 82. I knew it was somewhere in there.
Long time ago.
It's not that long ago, Bill. Come on.
Hey, I'm older.
It looks like it is a long time ago.
So, Bill, if you would take it away and give your report, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And I'd like to kind of cover what we've accomplished over the past 3-4 years, and then have the various committee chairs talk about what's coming up next. And Mike already mentioned that when he started at Jacksonville University, he sent out an email to everybody about what his intentions were, and that included creating a board which would help with fundraising, but also mentorship, a young alumni group, and events coordination. So in 2017, with the help of the coaches, with Mike and Jason and some alums, we began deliberate efforts in order to build a sustainable board. This group of interested alumni worked together for about 18 months to develop a plan and focus our efforts. We looked at what other rowing support programs were at other programs. We looked at what alumni interests were, and we realized that it was really important to reestablish communications with our alums. And so in October 2019, it was announced in an email that we created a Friends of JURowing executive committee at homecoming, and we've worked on from there. So now 3 years into this process, feel that the Friends of JURowing have set a foundation for supporting our growing rowing programs and increase engagement. And we've accomplished a lot with only a few active people, but I think we can do a lot more building upon that foundation. And so tonight, what we wanted to do was broadcast the successes of the JU program and the Friends of JURowing, and hopefully to motivate and attract more active participations and continue to expand the engagement and support for JURowing. Now, many of you watching this, what I'll call a mega Zoom, have been part of our successes. We were able to count over 500 unique supporters to the program over the last year. We've increased our participation in the 1956 club from 50 to 76 members. It's our fundamental support for the program. In each of the last 2 years, we've added a new 8-oared shell to the program and plan to add 2 more 4-oared shells this year. We're working on a fleet modernization and rotation program so our athletes always have up-to-date equipment to race in. Our mentoring program has conducted 1 mentoring event for seniors and juniors each of the last 4 semesters, and we're a leader on the campus in that. Working through the JU Outreach Office, we've been communicating regularly about the formation and actions of Friends of JURowing, as well as frequent updates from our coaches about what's going on. In order to expand, we're working on building out a website, which Todd will talk about later. Rowing is a sport of traditions, and part of what we've tried to do is rebuild and reestablish the annual awards and create the records to keep up with what our history is, what our championships have been, who our coaches are. There are still gaps to fill, and I'm hoping some of y'all on this call will be glad to join in and help fill that out. So that's a look back, and I'd like to pass back to Mike to introduce the committee chairs to talk about where we're going.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill, so much. And for those of you who want just a little insight, myself and our former men's coach, Jason Cottingham, approached Bill to become the president. And it's sort of a thankless job at many times, but Bill's been a partner to us and now to our new men's coach, Preston. And we can't thank you enough for your support and your loyalty as he goes into his second term, 3-year term as president. So yeah, there you go. So thank you, Bill. We have 6 committees that we're going to run through, and it's just going to be a brief introduction of the committee and what they're looking forward to accomplishing as we move forward. So our first committee chair for communications, newly appointed, Todd Cato. Todd.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I think it was one of those things where all the volunteers took a step back and I was still standing out front for communications. So first I want to thank Debbie Grell. She was the communications chair for the last few years, and she did a great job of setting up listservs and what have you. So we have a lot more information on our alumni. And moving forward, as Mike had alluded to, we're creating a website, a Friends of JURowing website. That will be the URL, and we're about 2/3 of the way through with that, and we're planning to launch it by mid-April, I think was the date that we discussed, Mike. And in addition to having links to the existing JURowing sites that are on the JU website, there'll also be information about the Friends of JURowing, be a lot of pictures and things about what's happening with alumni and what we've done in the past with rowing, as well as different upcoming events for either fundraising or just knowledge of what's happening, a list of all the old awards that Bill has been compiling, all the old bull oarsmen, MVPs, most improved, things of that nature. And just, it'll be a one-stop shop for pretty much anyone to go in and see, where we are as an alumni base and or Friends of JURowing, as well as an easy connection in to see what's happening with JURowing. So that is we think that's going to be our main method of communication from going forward. And we're really looking forward to having that up and running.
Thank you, Todd. We're actually moving into the 21st century, so this is exciting.
Sometime.
Yeah, sometime. Our next committee head, mentorship. Shanti just took this committee over recently, and we actually just completed an event last night. And I won't steal her thunder, but I want to thank you for hosting that and pulling that off. Shanti, take it away.
All right, thank you. Yes, I've been a part of the board since the beginning. Marty Shomiak, who I greatly appreciate being out front when we started this group, was the lead chairperson, and I was his second. He is, after his 3-year step back, and I am now the lead mentorship person, and I have brought Javier Rodriguez from my same year of 96, 97 into the fold to be my second, so we can work together continuing the mentorship process. Last night we did have a really successful dinner downtown at the River Club. We had about 40 participants. 28 of them were students, our juniors and seniors, with a presentation from Ms. Stephanie Koss, the First Lady of JU, about etiquette and meals and the whole 9 yards. Had great participation, great conversations. And moving into the new year, the goal each year is to have at least one face-to-face, if not two, with your mentors and mentees, and to be able to do one in the fall and one in the spring. So if you look over in the chat section, you will see a survey to fill out if you are interested in being a mentor. These are some great kids, and it's really fulfilling to be able to sit down with them as a former rower and help guide them as they make their decisions, where they want to go next, how to best leverage their time at JU and their time as a rower, and help them move on to their next steps in life.
Shanti, thank you. And you guys will see in the chat, you don't necessarily have to be an alum. You could be a parent or just a supporter of JU rowing. If you would like to be involved with that mentorship program, it's very impactful and really special. And so, Shanti, thank you for running with that last night. Rachel, we have her on the call. I was a little worried about her. She tornado warnings and so forth up there. So Rachel, I'm going to turn it over to you. She is the head of our fundraising committee.
Great. So hi, everybody. Hopefully you're not dodging tornadoes. We were getting a little worried here, as Mike said, but my job is really to encourage people, not just as a coxswain down the course, but also to engage in some fun and fundraising activities. What we're really trying to do here is reconnect, as a couple of people have already said. There was, I guess, in the analog days, not a really effective way of communicating and connecting the prior decades to the current and future decades of rowers. And so really, I tip my hat to the board, especially Mike and Bill spearheading with Todd the creation of the website, where we're really going to have finally a repository of photos, but really a go-to place for all things rowing. And part of that will be a button that engages you and encourages you to donate in a multitude of ways. You can really have your pick. A very basic one is the 1956 Club, where you put in your credit card once, hopefully, if technology does its thing, and you donate $19.56 a month, which is cheaper than a pizza. So that's an easy way to give back to these kids who have encountered tremendous challenges with the COVID pandemic. We never had anything like that when we were rowing back in the 80s and even the 90s and the early 2000s. So to overcome those challenges and to row in great boats is an opportunity that I think we can all put our heads to and dip into our wallets on occasion. We've got a great matching program. And last year we were able to get $6,000 total in matching, which is huge when you're thinking about a $40,000 8-man shell. So that's an easy one. Also, just the Rock the Docks auctions. There are great things every year. We came up with a blanket made out of t-shirts, or a quilt, excuse me, that was made out of t-shirts. So go through your old stuff and throw in a t-shirt or something, an old rowing trowel that has JU on it, and we can create a quilt for that. And of course, we'll have other special events. So we appreciate all the donations that have been given up to date. We're excited about the boats that are in the boathouse, which I saw last month. And I look forward to seeing more boats in there, because when we were there, it was a lot of wooden pocots, and finally got into some fiberglass and Vespolis. And it's nice to see an entire system of bays filled with fiberglass and what do you call it? Carbon fiber. Thank you.
Rachel, you're not that old. Come on. They're not all wooden boats back in your day.
I think we were in the first Vespoli.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it may be true. My favorite topic is events, and I'm going to turn that over to Brian Chamberlain, who's co-chair with Mary Wren on our events committee. Brian?
Thank you, Mike. For events in the upcoming year, we have a few main events to discuss and let you know of. The Dadville and Mac races. First of all, the Dadville race will be hosting a tent for that race on May 14th. So if anyone is in the Philadelphia area or around that area on May 14th, please come down to the river to the race. On the 15th, the day after, May 15th, we have MAC championships for our girls in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where we hope to get revenge on Marist from last year. In Homecoming is our second event. We don't have a date pinned down, and we don't have the events scheduled, but there will be some around rowing as usual. And when we have a date, we will let everyone know. And the third event is the Rock the Docks 2023. We were postponed this year due to, you guessed it, COVID. And so we will go in person again next year, hopefully, like we did in 2020, with the band, the music, the food, the fellowship, and the live auction, and maybe a few other surprises. That will be the first weekend in March 3rd, 2023. So those are our big events. Once again, to recap, Dadville and Mac Homecoming, and Rock the Docks 2023.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. We're going to turn it back to our fearless leader, Bill Breed. Do you want to talk about our historical committee?
And we've been doing some work to rebuild the records. There are gaps in our records. I mean, some of you can probably remember the fiberboard sheets that were up in the boathouse that recorded who won championships and which rowers those were. And those ended at some point. And so what I've been working on is scouring all the electronic resources from FIRA, CIRA, DADVAIL, IRA, and reconstruct those. And I'll probably start reaching out to folks to help fill in those gaps. We've also started rebuilding the records of who won individual awards, such as the Bull Oarsman or Bull Oarswoman, or the most improved, or who are the captains. And I've also got a spreadsheet for who the coaches and assistant coaches and managers were. So we're trying to assemble that history. Whereas if you go look at, a school that's been established for a while, although we've been around for 60 plus years, they report who is active and what was going on. So we've wrapped up some of that lately, especially with some of these participants like Brad and Jim Mitchell and Mike for some of the recent stuff to help fill in gaps so that we can keep track of what we've done and use that to show the rowing community what we've accomplished over the years.
Awesome. And I think that's where also that website will be able to showcase a lot of our photos. And if you guys look off into the chat, we've created a Google photo sharing, file for all intents and purposes. You could jot down some notes if you upload any photos. If you know who the participants are, if you know the year, we'd encourage you to do that. We have a board, also have our own Google sharing photo album. So we are trying to really bring together as much of that historical information as we can, so we could share it with the rest of our JU rowing community. So our last and probably the best committee, I'm sure she would agree, our Young Alumni Committee. Kelly Cleveland, take it away.
Hey everybody, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Really appreciate everyone being on the call. My name is Kelly Cleveland. I'm a 2015 graduate of JU. Thank you, Alex. I rode under Jim Mitchell when he was here. Super excited to be helping with the young alumni planning and all of that. I work closely with Frank Maurice. He's the assistant coach of the men's team. We've been working on just getting alumni back around the boathouse, hanging out, participating at events. We did a smaller side happy hour recently. Was that in December, Preston? Yeah. Okay. So back in December, we're planning another one for February 25th. So we've been doing just some outreach with alumni that are in the area of Jacksonville still. I think we've got a list of over 40 or 50 people out there that we know. So reaching out to them and looking forward to getting together on the 25th and having maybe some home races if we can get that happening, maybe like a tailgate or two. So excited to have everybody back.
Thank you, Kelly. Before I move on to our men's team update, also just some quick introductions of some other board members on this call. Maggie Dwyer is a member of our fundraising committee. Sean Gorman as well is a member of that committee also. So thank you, all of you, for your support and your work towards making JU rowing better and giving these student athletes that we have really the best experience that we possibly can. Preston, I'd like you to take it away. This is probably the more exciting stuff on this call, is our men's team update. This is our new first-year head coach, Preston Weinert, class of 2012, 14,
13.
13.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah, I was right in the middle there. So we're fired up to have Preston. Preston moved up from the assistant coach role to the head coaching position. Very excited to have his energy and his passion for JU. So Preston, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. Hi, everybody. My name is Preston Weinert. I am JU class of 2013 and 2019, and this is my first year of serving as the head coach for the JU men. I'm thrilled to be in this role and have had so many wonderful people help me get to where I am today. Shout out to Mike, shout out to our previous head coach, Jason Cottingham. Shout out to Bill, shout out to all these board members and all of my teammates and all my friends and supporters and family who've helped me here too. I rode for JU from 2010 to 2013, serving as captain for my senior season and competed in the varsity 4 at the 2013 national championships for the IRA in California. After graduation, I started coaching at the high school level in Central Florida for 4 years, chomping at the bit to return back to the collegiate level. At that time in 2017, I was hired as the graduate assistant here at JU, and I've been blessed to work my way up to where I am now as the head coach. For me, JU is home. I fell in love with this place back in 2010, and to see the promise of progress being fulfilled and watching both rowing programs grow and the university grow is so exciting to me, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it in this way. Working with me is Frank Maurice, who is our full-time assistant coach, and Shayla Lamb, our graduate assistant. I'm proud to say that we have a full-time assistant coach on staff. I don't believe JU has had a full-time assistant in over 10 years and probably ever. Some of you alumni can fact check me on that, but I know it's been since at least I've been involved that we haven't had a full-time head or assistant coach. So it's wonderful to have that position. And it's a testament to our program's growth for the last few years and the athletic department's commitment to our program. Frank has great experience of coaching at the high school level and is passionate about making our program better. He brings a good energy to our office and our team and has made an impact on our equipment needs and the development of our freshmen. Shayla brings great competitive rowing experience with her from the University of Michigan and has been an asset for us to raise our competitiveness to the next level. She has built up the less experienced rowers on our team and have given them a really strong platform to build upon and become more competitive. So now for an update on the team, we have 40 athletes on our roster from all over the world, and it feels really great to have a big group of athletes working hard together at practice every day. The team is not only growing in numbers, but growing in speed day by day. Our training has been very progress focused, and the team has bought into the hard work that it takes to go fast. I'm proud to say that our team is a diverse group and is involved in many other areas of campus. We have 5 students in the NROTC program, including 1 senior, 2 freshmen, and 2 sophomores. There are 3 students that are student ambassadors within the admissions team, giving tours on campus and serving as the face of our university for incoming students. One of our students is in the Green Key organization on campus. And for those of you who may not know, that's JU's top 5% of student scholars. We have 8 seniors this year in the senior class, which is the second largest senior class in over 10 years. Our team GPA is held above a 3.2 for the last 5 semesters, setting a record in 2019 for the best men's rowing team GPA on record. Now, I don't know, way back, maybe I don't know how far the records go, but when I heard that in 2019, I thought that was a really impressive feat. I could go on forever and ever about our team, but this just gives a snapshot of the group of individuals that we have on our roster. What drives me as a coach is the personal growth and development of the rowers and coxswains. My main objective is to invest in them as people and as individuals and connect with them in a way that helps build their character into genuine, high-achieving, contributing citizens of their communities and the world. That sounds like a huge task for just a rowing coach, but that is what we aim to produce here at JURowing, and I feel that we've done that since 1956. I thoroughly enjoy coaching these young men and women. They are fun to coach. They definitely keep me laughing every day. I always joke that about 45 minutes before practice, the parade rolls in, where one at a time, guys and girls will come in from the team and just want to chat with me and hang out and tell me about their day. And that to me makes my job a lot of fun. As with any team, we've had some adversity through COVID times. but I'm very proud of how our team is able to remain calm and retain focus on the goals that we have set. We have maintained an ability to train and even compete through these adversities since 2020, and it is awesome to see the team rise above. The student athletes have developed a strong culture of inclusion, high level achievement, and an intense focus on improvement in all areas, and I'm very proud to be their coach and watch their progress day in and day out. So as we look to the spring season and we look to the future, we've got a full docket of racing this spring with a good mix of local scrimmages and traveling races before our championship season. On either end of spring break, we'll travel to Melbourne, Florida to race Florida Tech, and down to DeLand to race Stetson. Then we travel to Virginia in early April to race in a round robin type of event with Navy, Georgetown, and Holy Cross. I'd like for this race to become a staple for us year after year as it raises our level of competition with perennial IRA championship crews. Right after that is the SIRA championship, which a lot of alumni know, where we'll have 3 varsity 8s compete. We haven't been to SIRA, in 3 years, so it'll be very exciting for this team to compete there again. After SIRA, the team will crush finals week and celebrate graduation weekend, all while preparing for the Dadville Regatta. I'm excited to get back to Dadville and compete. Last year was a chaotic year for the Dadville, and this year looks way more promising. We will have an alumni tent at the Dadville, as mentioned earlier. So if you're local to Philly or plan to see racing in person, we'd be thrilled to have you and kind of watch from the banks of some good racing going on. Based on our performance at both SIRA and Dadville, we'll compete at the IRA National Championship, but it's our team goal to return there year after year. Now, without getting too far into the weeds, the progression and qualification process for the IRA Championship is evolving into something new. They haven't given really anybody any details at this time. They keep teasing what it's going to be, but it's looking like it's going to turn more into a automatic qualifying or like a conference qualifying type championship series, to where it's more equitable for teams to enter the IRA Championship, which is exciting for our sport as men's rowing, to give more opportunities to coaches or to teams to be able to compete at that high level. This season is a full one of racing, and it's going to put everything that we have talked about at the highest level. These definitions have been shaping our team into high achieving student athletes and competitors, and it's been exciting to see the team define those and execute them. Now, for some of my goals, I want to share with you some of my big picture goals for this year and the coming years. My main competitive goal for the team is to place top 3 at SIRA and qualify for the Grand. I believe we can do that within the next 2 years, this year included. With the introduction of a more official conference qualifying system to the IRA, that might change what regattas we compete in, but that will give us a more advantageous path towards competing at the highest level at the IRA Championship. I also have a goal to continue to increase our team GPA semester by semester, with a goal of having above a 3.3 every single semester. Our athletic department has continued to grow our student athlete experience year after year, and I want to brag about some things that's been going on with that, including exclusive academic support for each team, providing a high quality meal once a week for athletes only to expand nutrition and performance knowledge. And let me tell you, the athletes love that every week. They want me to read the menu to them as they're salivating, stretching before practice. And then also connecting with student athletes on a professional development program and the career management team on campus. What's even more exciting is to see the Friends of JURowing board pave the way for some of these initiatives and be set as examples for these things. My goal as head coach is to continue these initiatives and keep that progress going. My last talking point is about our alumni who are becoming more and more engaged with the current programs. Another mission I have as head coach and as a JURowing alumnus myself is to reconnect JU rowers of the years past to the JU rowers of today. The Friends of JURowing board is a wonderful testament to that. I also want to give a shout out to the JURowing alumni from the 90s decade who came together as a team and as Team Paterno to fund a new Hudson 8 for our men's team this year. It's a beautiful, fast boat, and our athletes are so proud to row in that boat every day. With the mentorship initiatives that Shanti mentioned earlier, old traditions becoming reinstated that Bill mentioned as well, and more frequent alumni events, our program hopes to welcome all JU rowers back to the program and reinvigorate that passion for JU rowing and the successes that we all share. Our current athletes are seeing more JU alumni in the boathouse. They feel that connection with our rich history, and that feeling is priceless for me to see as their coach. I want to thank you all so much for tuning into this call. I see a good amount of our team's parents on this call as well, so it's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in to our program. It's your turn for your update of your team.
Thank you, Preston. Hopefully this computer is working. My internet is faltering. So, wow, I don't know how to follow that. You did such a great job. What am I to say now? But first and foremost, I couldn't be more proud of the team we have this year. As many of you know, the last 2 years have been a huge challenge. And I feel for our student athletes from March 13th or 14th or 15th, whatever day it was in 2020, when we were up in North Carolina, ready to race Old Dominion, and got the phone call that everything was over, to last May, where 10 days before our championship, 13 out of our 23 athletes came down with COVID and were pulled from that championship. These guys have faced adversity through and throughout. The coaches have faced adversity. And it's been a real, I'll be perfectly honest, it's been a real challenge. Being a coach right now at this level, it's harder than it's ever been. And that takes a toll at times. But I think the thing that's reinvigorating and the thing that brings us back to center is the energy that our student athletes have, the great kids we have here at JU. They work so hard and they're so passionate about what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. And I've seen that both on our men's squad and on our women's squad this year. And I could not be more proud to be associated and be a part of JU rowing. On the women's side, we're excited. We have 3 staff members. Kayla Teakin is my first assistant coach. Alex Pulliam, who's on this call as our moderator, so to speak, alum. She's back for her 2nd year as a grad assistant position living here in the boathouse. And we, with the athletic department support, we're able to hire a 2nd grad assistant, Meg Martin, who competed with our competitors Canisius up there in New York. And she's been a huge addition to our staff. We started with 60 plus women on the team. We're down to 45 to 50 for our spring season. It's a big squad. And I like big teams. When I took over the program, we had 25 women on the team, and we very quickly doubled the size of the program because I think competition breeds success. And so those numbers, those kids are pushing each other, and we've reached a little bit of a higher bar this year. I think the kids are really hungry. The last 3 years have been sort of a challenge between having a trailer accident on the way to our championship in 2019, to COVID in 2020, to COVID again in 2021. Our athletes are ready to bring that MAC championship back, and they're training at that level. I've not had more fun as a coach than I've had in the last month and a half, watching our women reach all-time highs in terms of our ERG scores, and are really doing a good job supporting each other and competing. And mental health is one of those areas that we've really focused on this year. We have our sports performance coach coming in every Thursday for about an hour every Thursday morning, and working with our kids. And the theme over the last few weeks has been self-talk. And go figure, we have a 2K test tomorrow morning. So hopefully they'll be able to put that self-talk to work tomorrow on the erg machine. Water has been great. The last week we've been out rowing as often as possible. And I know we'll continue to do that through the course of our season. We have like nonstop racing all spring. I'm not really sure how I did this to us, but I think it's good because at the end of the day, truly the only way to learn and to make adjustment is to race and get that experience on the race course and learn from that. So our first race is our senior day. So we do have a home race, Kelly. It'll be March the 5th, Saturday. We have Villanova coming to town. They will be training over in Gainesville, Florida, and we'll make the short drive over to JU to race that Saturday morning. The next weekend, we'll be racing Sacred Heart, Stetson, and Embry-Riddle. That'll be a Friday regatta in DeLand, Florida. We then head back to DeLand, Florida. Or actually, sorry, we head to Orlando, Florida the following weekend on the 18th to race UCF and UConn. That's a Friday regatta. We'll take the short drive back up to DeLand that Friday evening, and we'll race the following day. We'll race Drake and Stetson in DeLand, Florida. So you're going to sense a theme here about DeLand. A week later, Friday evening, Friday Night Lights, we're going to race Miami and Stetson back in DeLand, Florida. We started this race last year because of COVID, and it was a good place to meet for Miami and us. And so that race will be taking place on March the 25th. The following weekend, we head down to Sarasota for what many of you may know as FIRA, but it's also the Sunshine State Regatta. So the D1 programs have gotten together, and we will be racing. I think there's 11 other crews from around the country, which will be coming down to race in Sarasota that Friday and that Saturday, March 1st and the 2nd. We're lucky enough to have a weekend off, and we'll go to Virginia, like Preston had mentioned. The men will be up there 3 weeks before us, and we'll head up on the 24th for the George Mason Invite. We're very excited about, and that should be great competition for us. Last year, we were lucky enough to win that regatta, and hopefully we'll accomplish the same. We're lucky enough to head back up to Lake Lanier, which is where I started coaching in 1997 for a training camp. So we'll be there for a week. Side of the 1996 Olympics, staying in some cabins there, preparing ourselves for the MAC championship. And this year is going to be relatively unique for us because Dad Vale and MAC happen on the same weekend. They're in basically the same city. So we'll be racing a women's 4. Basically our second 4 will go race at the Dad Vale Regatta on May the 15th, May the 16th. Is that right? No, on May the 13th through the 14th, sorry. And then on Sunday, we'll be racing in Cherry Hill, New Jersey on the Cooper River at the MAC Championship. That's Sunday, May the 15th. And so I would encourage all of you to come out and be a part of our tent at Dad Vale, be a part of our tent at the MAC Regatta. We'll be, hopefully spectators will be involved, and we couldn't be more excited to get out on that race course. And so our kids have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and are really excited to get after it and show them what JU women's rowing's all about. You know, at the end of the day, the fine line between success, the line between success and failure is very slim. And our athletes have totally embraced, you know, pushing that line. And tomorrow will be another testament to that on the erg. So what I look forward to this spring is watching our women push themselves to the brink, push themselves to failure. And if they do that, we're going to have a great season. And that season will culminate once we win that MAC championship at the NCAA championship in Sarasota, Florida. This will be the second year it's in Sarasota. So that's just a little bit of a update of our women's squad. And I am going to move forward and wrap up this conversation tonight. I will open up for questions in just a second for those of you who have them. Or feel free to post them in the chat if you don't want to chime in. But I must say, I could not be more proud of our organization, of our athletes, of our coaches. One of the big accomplishments that has happened over the course of the last 4, 5, 6 years is staffing. When I got here, we had one full-time coach, and it was myself. And we are up to the point now where we have a second or women's full-time assistant coach, a men's full-time assistant coach, a men's full-time head coach, and it's just made everything that much better, and it has allowed us to give our athletes the best experience possible. Because when we're spread thin, it's hard to give those guys what they need, but now we're truly able to do that with our members on staff. A few sort of final things I would like to touch on before I open it up. First of all, I want to thank those members who are cycling off our board. Marty Chomiak has been with us since the beginning. He cycled off recently after his 3-year term. Debbie Grill, same thing, communication. She is with us from the beginning. She cycled off as of this month. And Sean Gorman, a guy from the mid-90s who's been a strong supporter of JURowing, is also cycling off, although I have a feeling I'm going to suck him back in at some point. So I'd like to thank those guys for their service. It's been very much appreciated as we've gotten this group off the ground. So with that being said, we also will have some openings. So in the chat at some point, there's a couple different links. One is for you guys to share photos of past experience, JU rowing, current JU rowing, past JU rowing, whatever. Share those photos because ultimately we'll move those to our website. Number two, we have a link for our mentorship. If you're interested in becoming a member, we have a Google form for you to fill out. It's very quick, very easy. And then third, we have sort of a JU survey, just asking for those of you who want to be involved. Again, it doesn't have to be alums. It could be parents, supporters, whatever. If you want to be involved, please fill out that survey and let us know. And share the news with other alums and other supporters of our program that we're doing things and you want to get on board now, because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. And so we're excited about that. And lastly, and it sort of coincides with our Dolphin Dash, which is going on as a university initiative this week, Monday through Friday. Our men's and our women's teams are competing against each other. And as of last look, the women are ahead of the men. So we are both competing dollars, obviously, but our main point of focus is participation. And so if we get enough alums participating, I believe the number is 30. If we get 30 males and 30 female alums, we will automatically get an extra $1,000. So I would encourage you to give $1, give $5, give whatever. And so that's the Dolphin Dash, and that I believe will be in the chat as well for those of you who would like to give to that. Lastly, I'll be sending out a follow-up email to all these things we discussed, all these links. That'll go out tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. If you weren't able to check the chat and grab the documents, we'll be sending those out as well. So at this point, I would love to open it up for any questions or comments that you may have in our last 8 minutes of this meeting tonight.
I'm ready to ask.
Brad?
I paid for it.
What'd you say, Brad?
I have a couple comments.
Yep.
As you would expect. First of all, Dad Vale is 13-14. It's a 2-day regatta. It'll be fully functional. And so come out both days. Number two, I would state is that we all rode for a program that changed our lives. And to give back to for the next generation, to get what we got, I think is really critical. Third item that I'd like to say is the mentorship. I think you should describe that more fully, because I'm very proud of what you and your committee and the Friends of Rowing are doing, because the mentorship changes lives going out into the workplace. And I don't think people understand what you're doing, and I think that needs to be discussed. I'm excited about the new website because I hope it can be photographs and also stories, so that we can connect also where our lost alums, so that we can, again, what you said, who are the people in the picture? And there can be a chat, not only just downloading the photos. I'm going to say just congratulations. I mean, you've done a fabulous job, and I'm so pleased with what you're doing, and I support everything that's going on. Let me know how I can help. Thank you.
Oh, we've got that dock that we're going to build, remember? So yeah.
I've got the parts.
Shanti, would you like to discuss the mentorship, or would you like me to?
Sure. No, I got it. So what we do each year, and I send out, hopefully you guys jump into the form and give me some names. Otherwise, you'll just start getting cold emails from me off the alumni list. And I get each of our rising seniors' degree and what they want to do next in life. And then I go through our list of mentors. Hopefully they've raised their hands. If they haven't raised their hands, like I said, I'll just cold call you and try to match up our students with someone in their field of choice. So they really, it's not just someone, this is how you should clean up your LinkedIn profile, et cetera, but actually someone that can functionally help them get into the field of their choice. Personally, this year, I've been working with Mary Grace. She is looking in for getting her master's degree in public policy. I work in public policy, the emergency management field. So I've been working with her on getting into different grad schools, writing her letters of recommendation. I gave her an internship with my company. She's been doing a lot of great legislative work for us, and looks like that's probably going to turn into a full-time job for her. And that's what we try to do with as many as we can, is really match them up functionally with someone in their field of choice that can help them make the decisions. What's the next best grad school? What's the best internship? How to leverage the fact that they've been a rower and know how to work hard. And those of us that are rowers know how hard they've worked in this year-round sport, keeping up with the GPAs that we all do. So that's really the heart of it. Is it's not just I match a kid with an adult. It's matching the adult with someone in that career field that you can really dig into. And the goal is it's not just for the year. Hopefully it's someone that you connect with and you continue to mentor them as they grow. We heard several of our mentors last night at our dinner talk about mentees that they've kept up with for 20 years. I would love to see that. And I think in our program, as dedicated as we are, and as much as we like to come back and cheer on the next year and following years behind us, I think that's something that we can easily do and grow this into a really strong mentorship program that keeps everyone coming back to the boathouse and working together for years to come. You're muted.
Thank you, Shanti. Any other questions or comments this evening? This is your chance.
I'd definitely like to look into starting a golf tournament for fundraising aspects. So without stepping on anybody's toes, if the people who would be kind of giving the okay on that wanted to reach out to me, this is Rich Kelly.
Awesome. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, we'll make a note of it in our notes here. And between Rachel, Maggie, and myself, and then obviously the administration, I think that could be something really great. So not to mention, I would love to beat you in golf. So,
Yeah, I gotta play golf with Rich. I gotta play golf with Rich.
It's not about playing golf. You guys are both missing the point.
I know, it's true.
Right.
Rich, you're gonna beat me too.
And air quotes, playing golf.
Yeah,
Rich, you'll
golf.
beat me as well.
Brad, I might take it easy on you if Greg Van Oekel is the next announcer at the Dadville.
Oh, you're having too much fun. Any final comments in our last few minutes here, or questions about squads, about anything?
I just wanted to make a quick mention for those who are still on. June 10th is the weekend that we're aiming for a reunion. It looks like the location may change. If it's not New Smyrna down in Florida, it'll probably be at my house just outside of Auburn on Lake Martin. So if you're interested, I'm assuming you can maybe make mention of that in the chat.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, this is everybody. My name is Bill Cost, and I'm actually a parent of an active rower. Last year, JU came up to the George Mason Invitational in Northern Virginia. It was an awesome race. We had a lot of fun. Coach Poley will be doing the tour again this year. I wanted to kind of open an invitation to everybody on the call. It's a fairly easy race to get to. The entire facility will be open this year, unlike last year where we had to sit on the opposite shore. It's a great facility. It's an absolutely beautiful location. It's in Northern Virginia, so there's plenty of hotels and places to stay. And last year we had a lot of fun. The day after the race, we did a tour of the monuments with the team. I'd like to extend the invitation to Coach Preston. If you wanted to do the same thing for the boys a couple weeks earlier, what we did last year is the day after the regatta, we piled everybody into the bus and we gave everybody kind of a guided monuments tour and had a little bit of lunch, and then everybody hit the road back to JU. But more importantly, for anybody that's in the Virginia, Maryland, DC, Philadelphia, Mid-Atlantic region, it's an awesome race to come visit. It's a little bit more low key than Dadvale and Mac, but it's an easy travel destination. And you can reach out to me and I'll try to coordinate a little tailgate action and cheering section in the grandstand this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the offer. And I would echo that. It was my first time in 25 years of coaching actually at the Occoquan, and it was a great venue. COVID made things a little challenging for the spectators, but it was awesome. So, and Preston, if you want more.
Mike, can you put that information out on your website so that we know how to contact and where we're going and what we're doing and where hotels might be?
Yep, absolutely. And often we'll use Facebook for some of that as well. So those are some of our communication channels. But yeah, we'll definitely get that information out. And yeah, that would be great. Thank you for that offer. Well, unless anyone has anything pressing, we're at 8 o'clock, and I like to keep on schedule. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time tonight, and I look forward to continue to work with our friends of JURowing board. Be on the lookout for that website. Be on the lookout for the follow-up email tomorrow. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike.